guys, big and little hub here. Trying to record with the phone mounted, fighting with the light. Might be fighting with vibration. We'll know when we look at it. Might be fighting with audio. We'll know when we listen to it. So we'll give it a shot. Anyway, we want to do a video talking about the important things for team driving and how they relate to us and how we relate to them, and kind of our priorities. And after giving it some thought and discussion, there's one thing in particular that we think that everybody who is going to team drive needs to consider. In fact, it's something that everybody, no matter what your job is, really needs to consider. And that is, it's not about you. Let me try to keep it short. Y'all know me, that's hard. But this was an epiphany for me several years back that really changed the whole way I think. And I've tried, I should say we, the wife and me, have tried to instill this in the kids. And it's hard to live by, even when you're thinking about it. But the reality is, it's not about you. It's not about me. Now, where this comes from is I was told many years ago, within a 1 week period, by 3 different people at 3 different times, that I needed to read a book that had come out. Well, long story short, I'm not much of a reader because I have ADD and I just can't focus enough to read. I wait for the movie. I learn visually. But after being told to read this book 3 times, I thought, well, maybe it's meant to be that I read this book. So I read the book. And the book is A Purpose-Driven Life. It's a book written by a pastor out in California. We won't hold that against him. So I read the book, but as I mentioned, it takes me a long time to focus and get through stuff like that, so I had to read it 3 times. Now, after reading that book 3 times, I can't tell you anything in the book except the first sentence in the first chapter. It's the only thing I remember from the book, reading it 3 times. And that is, the first sentence in the first chapter reads, "It's not about you." And I went, wow, it's not about me. And the context of that is that as you go through life and go through your daily job, your relationships, everything else, if you focus on you, you're usually miserable. Because you're not getting what you want, you're not getting everything you think you deserve. Everybody's always out to get you, and you're always a victim. And I found that to be true. When I'm focused on me, it's about my wants and my desires and things that I want, things I think I deserve. But when I'm focused on other people, I feel really good about myself. When I'm doing stuff to help others, and I'm thinking about others, you kind of don't have time to feel sorry for yourself and be selfish. So, in that light, in team driving, it is vitally important that you not make it about you. You know, that's my space, that's my food, or that's my drink, or that's my time. Me, I. Well, of course, that's going to be I think would be a much more difficult thing if you're in the truck with somebody you really don't know, or even somebody you think you know, but you haven't had to live that closely together. Now, the driver over here, he and I have had some time together. 21 years and 11 months roughly of time together.
Exactly.
That's right. Soon to be 22 in June. So we have that part kind of figured out. And because we've been trying to teach him and his little brother Mini Hub, we'll call him Mini Hub for now, this concept of not being selfish and not being about you. You know, the thing about that concept is you hear it all the time. Your mom, your dad teaches you this, you know. Quit being selfish. It's not about you. Kind of deal. And I heard that till I was in my mid-upper 30s, early 40s. You know, you hear that everywhere, in all kinds of lessons. But it took me reading that book 3 times to get that one sentence out of the book that it actually clicked. And it's still a challenge every day. So when we're in this truck, I've got to think, it's not just about me. It's not about me. It's about him. It's about us being safe. It's about the people we come in contact with. It's about our company. It's about the shippers and receivers. It's about the other people we meet on the road, see on the road, meet on the road, pass on the road. So when you get into a truck with somebody, whether it's a trainer or a teammate, the relationship is magnified greatly. And so I believe that this magnifies this concept that is really important, that you consciously, not just subconsciously, know it, but you consciously have to think about it on an ongoing basis in every step. You know, when you're getting up, changing spots, me driving to him driving, to fueling, helping each other out when you need to in terms of parking or you know, things of that nature. Picking up the slack when the other one's worn out. He's had to do some for me because I'm old and I need my beauty rest. I need lots of it. He's already pretty. He doesn't need that much. But you know, it's like when you see people parking and having trouble and other people just sitting there watching them. And a lot of them making fun of them. And even some of them filming it. How many people get out and help? We had that situation last night at a shipper where we were waiting to be loaded and they started to back this other driver in. And, or told him where to back in. He had to come around to our passenger side, and it really wasn't a tough back, but it was kind of awkward. If you think about it, it was just a regular back like a truck stop with about 2 spots to put back into. But it was a young kid, and he was quite nervous. And the people working there said, you might want to watch him. He's coming around to your passenger side. I said, okay. So I get out and Little Hub gets out and we decide to try to help him. Well, he comes over and he's of Eastern European, Russian, something nationality. So I don't know how well he spoke English, but he looked at me and he goes, first day. My first day. So it obviously was his first day by himself, I guess. And he was nervous. You could see it. So we tried to help him, which was like the blind leading the blind. But we're trying. And another gentleman walks up in black cowboy boots, black jeans, black shirt, black hat, and black shades. The whole works. Obviously an experienced trucker. And I said, it's his first day and he's quite nervous and we're trying to help him. And he said, well, we'll get him back in here. And so Little Hub and I kind of stepped out of the way. You know, it's like if you're doing CPR trying to save somebody's life and a doctor walks up. You get up and you let the doctor take over. So we let the doctor take over. And of course he got him parked in there. It's that whole situation. And the other trucker, he goes, if we don't help each other out, you know, what are we going to do? Where are we going to be in a few years? He said, well, you know, it's a dying thing. We got to help each other out. And we all agreed. So it's not about me. In this truck, it's not about me and my space. It's not about me and my sleep time and my off time. It's not about me and when I want to drive or when he wants to drive. It's about a give and take, a shared responsibility, and a respect for each other, and a focus on each other. And the hard thing in a relationship, any kind of relationship, but one especially in tight quarters and the time spent with a teammate, this is marriage magnified. I mean, you know, well, a lot of times in a team, sorry for the bright light, a lot of times for teams it is a husband and wife in a marriage. So they've obviously got to have some of that worked out in their lives ahead of time to make it, you know, really work. But when you're getting in the truck with somebody else, a friend maybe, or maybe somebody new that you just met that you think, you know, you make a good team with, it takes two with that same concept. Both of you have to believe that it's not about me. If one makes it about him or herself, and the other one is unselfish, then it won't work. So, as we go through this journey and try to make it work for us, we've got to focus on that and keep that in mind at all times. And if we do, we'll do good at it. Because we can drive the truck, we can park the truck, we can go in and get the bill ladens and deal with the shippers and deal with the receivers and all that stuff, and make the paycheck and run the miles. But it's all about relationship and being unselfish. So for a first video of what is important to make it as a team, I think that is a good starting point. What do you think?
I agree.
Man of many words. So there you go. Enough of on the soapbox. Just a small glimpse of what goes along with that, as maybe 1A, 1B, and 1C, if you will, is another two concepts that I try to live by, and I fail at it every day because I'm human, but it's self-awareness and accountability. It's real easy to look at somebody else and find fault, find where they make mistakes and see their mistakes, and easy to point those mistakes out for somebody else. It's really hard to step outside yourself and look at yourself honestly and be honest and have self-awareness. If you do that, you're able to see your faults without somebody else pointing them out to you and making you defensive. And then you can start making changes to you to make yourself a better person. And that brings in accountability. If you do that, then you're accountable. When you make a mistake, it's your mistake. You're accountable. If you're self-aware, you're not thinking about you, and you're accountable for you, then that gives you a recipe for success in whatever you do. It's a good cornerstone for you to build whatever you're doing, whatever relationship you're in, whether it's team driving or anything else. So one, it's not about me. Two, I have to be self-aware so that I can be honest with myself and be a better person moving forward. Improve every day. And to do that, I have to be accountable. Even when nobody else is looking or anybody sees what you're doing, being accountable to yourself, having pride in what you do, and being accountable for the mistakes you make. And let me tell you something, when you're accountable and you're open to others without accountability, you take everybody's ammunition away from you. Anybody wants to point the finger at you and say you made a mistake or you screwed this up, they can't. You were already owned up to it. And then you get a lot of respect for doing that. So you diffuse criticism when you're self-aware and take accountability. So it's not about you. Be self-aware. Step outside yourself and look at yourself honestly. And be honest with yourself about it. And be accountable. I think that's a good start. From there, there's all kinds of things you got to do to make it work. I mean, that's just, kind of my concept over the past 50 years of my life that I've, didn't really start paying attention to until I was in my mid-30s when my brain kicked in. You got a few more years before yours kicks in. He's only 21, going on 22, remember, birthday coming up. So, I think that's a good start for, put that in your toolbox and take it with you on the road. For what it's worth. You may disagree with it. That's okay. But that's my thought, that's my heart, what I believe, and what we've tried to teach this one over here and his little brother. And when he gets into his mid-30s and his brain kicks in, his brain's going to kick in sooner than mine because he's smarter than me. But that's it. Lesson 1, I'm off the soapbox. We'll get to more fun stuff here down the road. Like air freshener. You got to have air freshener in the truck. Among other things. Alright, that's it for now. I'll let him edit this, but he can't edit out the good stuff. I gotta make sure he keeps in all the good stuff. So y'all be safe. And remember, you want to say it or you want me to? Do a good day's work and act like somebody.